Oh, it's
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, I'm old.
Tyrus.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Cheers.
So
I made it 50.
I ain't got a thing in my cup, but
bad luck.
I'm
Come
gonna
on,
toast you anyhow.
Here, have some of this.
do we have a bottle here? Yes.
Now you talking.
Hey, my mom's doctors told
Con boy.
her that I wouldn't live past 14. I think they were right mentally, but
Now
I'm
look
50,
at
so hey, who cares?
now look at you.
They said you shouldn't live past she should have done something about it. He should not live past 14 because it's going to be trouble.
He was not raised right.
Because of the heart condition.
Yeah, I was born with a hole in my heart, and they said I probably wouldn't live past puberty. And I think I've had about 14 puberties.
You've been pubic as long. You've been pubic as long as I've known you.
Something in the water taught me how to crawl. Something in the water taught me how to fall. Something in my blood.
Hey, we're back.
What up, folks?
Hello.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to another Something in the Water podcast. I'm Uncle Dave Griffin.
I'm Sean Clark, and we're here with Vincent Tang and Ty Manning.
Hey, folks.
Two friends
Good to have
from
you.
way back.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
This is
So,
Salute.
cheers. Salud. This is Ty's second visit with us and Vincent's first visit with us. Everything going well with y'all?
pretty good.
So I'm
need
interested in knowing how the two of y'all came to meet. What was it?
I don't know.
Whose story?
I know I met. I don't know if you were.
Tange first.
I don't know if you were at
first, yeah.
this party where. Remember when John stole his mom's minivan and knocked out his teeth and all that good stuff?
Was this back when we were in high school?
When y'all were in high school.
Yeah, and he ran into the house.
Yeah, this is
yeah, I
no
remember
lie.
that.
Paulie.
I
Wait a minute.
was supposed to be
John
at that party, but I
who?
didn't make it.
Yeah, John Doe. Like, got in a lot of legal
We're
trouble.
gonna leave
with
it at John.
But he came over there kind of where Harris Teeter is and went through a house and knocked out all his teeth. But long story short, that same night, one of my college roommates that's from Waycross was having a party, and he hired a band to play, and it was Charlie Chastain, Paul Lee, and Brett Herron. And that's pretty much my old band. So I showed up at the party, crashed it, and I was already at UGA. And I was started playing a bunch of Hendrix covers and whatnot. And John and Will Thrift and a bunch of friends that Tang. I don't even know if you were there. I don't know if you
No,
were there.
I didn't make it to that party.
But
I was
met
supposed to ride with John that night. Good thing I didn't.
Yeah. Luckily.
Wow.
No, but long story short is I met them all that night. And then I told John, I was like, yeah, when y'all get up to Athens, give me a call. And then 4 or 5 years later, I get this call. I was like, hey, or I was playing a gig actually. And with my band Skillet, and Tange and Will had showed up, and they're like, we remember you played at Josh Sweat's house, and the night I got in a bunch of trouble, and I was like, well, and that night I had gotten a fight with my bass player, and I was like, don't you play bass? And he's like, yeah. So John joined the band, and then I kind of inherited a whole other side of Waycross as friends, and
Tange already had an entourage with him.
oh yeah,
That's pretty
the
much how it
Tange
was.
boys. There's how many of them are there? How many?
4 brothers all together, 1 sister, oldest sister.
And they all came to Georgia, and I think their dad bought a house, and they all.
He's preacher at Grace Episcopal.
Grace
so they live
Episcopal,
in
yeah.
a parsonage that was in my neighborhood. Well, neighboring neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so
Where did you grow up?
I grew up here.
I mean, what part?
I'm off of Central Avenue,
Really?
He's very
Yes.
close to his
Very
parents.
close.
Yeah, no.
I'm by the Mormon church over there.
Okay.
Church of Latter-day Saints.
And,
on
yeah,
Central.
right behind Mormon Church. And
Yeah,
that
John,
subdivision there.
the Tonjas lived walking distance from you
Uh-huh. Yeah.
in that little neighborhood right by your house. No, but when they all moved up there, I'd been in Athens for 4 or 5 years, and so I kind of had a lay of the land. So I kind of adopted all these guys when they moved up there, and kind of
How much older were you?
halfway took care of them. I think I'm about 10 years. Are you?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean,
Oh, really?
About 10 years older than all
10
them.
years older than
you're 50.
Yeah, I turned
Tomorrow.
50 at midnight tonight.
At midnight.
Yeah.
Folks, we're recording this on June 7th.
7th? Yeah.
It is now June 7th. This episode should appear probably around August, sometime in August. But let it be known that the history of tonight, you turned 50
I turned 50
at midnight, which is going to be June 8th.
June 8th, and this is the address over here. ADD moment is the address here is 608.
It's a 608 address that we're recording at.
608.
So we
Don't do
thought that
drugs,
was
kids.
a little bit risky. And he's turning 50, but I'm turning 68 later this year.
Holy crap.
608.
Up.
This is when Bill and Ted bust in.
We need to play the lottery.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
speaking of the lottery, I bought like 62 lottery tickets about 2 weeks ago.
You should have bought 68.
That's where I went
That's what
wrong.
went-
Crap.
That's where Bill and Ted comes in. It's like, you got to buy 68, dude.
Did it do you any good?
Nah, well, I handed them out as graduation gifts, but I don't think
Okay.
nobody won anything.
But they would have told you, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'm sure they would have been like, hey.
Come back and said,
I told them they had to help me pay off all my debt if they win.
that's something
Now,
that I don't do.
I'll tell you, I'm going to do a disclaimer here how this happened. I haven't seen Vincent in a long time, or any of y'all in a long time because of this whole pandemic thing. Plus, Vincent's living up in New York City, but we went to eat the other day.
New
and,
York City.
we went to eat the other day. And we're like, we should get together and jam and just hang out and catch up. And then this is sort of what happened out of instead of having a jam, we're like, where are we going to jam? And well, I'm staying.
At the podcast.
So this is sort of, I think we should, our goal for this should be, let's capture catching up on a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Y'all
going to be
up for that?
interesting
Yeah.
if we.
Tang-stache.
Thanks, Ash. And
I can't say
If we
anything
do
about it
a,
now. 'cause
Yeah, you actually have one. This is great.
So tell us.
Zoom in
tell-
on this luxurious
Tang-stache.
yeah.
Tell us the
Need a
story
refill.
behind Tang-stache.
Well, Tang-stache, was it Mac that came up with it?
Oh,
corked.
Ew.
Yeah, we got a bunch of buddies up there, and
got a corkscrew.
He's already pushed it
yeah,
down.
the Tang-stache phenomenon was Vincent was our buddy, and he is.
How did it
Are
start?
you a black belt in karate?
Kung Fu, but it's like, even though there's no belt system, we don't have to talk about that.
We don't.
No, I'm just saying. One of our buddies, one of the drinking buddies, was like, Vincent should grow a mustache, and they're like, yeah, that'd be great. And then we tried to get him to do it. I don't think he could actually do it for a long time, right?
Well, I refuse to, because whenever I saw any Asians have a mustache, it looks like they were in a 70s porn video. So I was like, I
think that's why we wanted
that's
him to
not my
have one.
thing, you know, it's like, it's appalling. I'm never gonna do this, you know. So that's why I refused for the longest time, and then they thought it was funny, you know. John and not John Tang, but John and Jowin Ninja,
Yeah, ninja man.
Mac Williams, who's also from these neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Y'all need to do a podcast with them two guys. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell them
He's
about
from
us.
Mac's from Blackshear.
Yep.
Yeah, his daddy's the editor, right?
Right.
Robert?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But I think it was. Yeah, they just started. They I mean, it was mostly just to fuck with me, honestly. But it was, yeah, I mean, it was ongoing for a while, and then they started to make
They made
graphics,
stickers.
stickers, Sticking them
It's like
everywhere.
a cartoon
all
of you
over-
with a mustache.
Caricature that Mac drew, and then and then what else was there?
It turned into a music festival because it was like Vincent was like, well, y'all been fucking with me for so long about it. Let's turn it into something cool. And I think we had a couple music festivals and
because it was because every time when we went anywhere to the bars or around Atlanta or Athens, they would just go to some random person and say, "Hey, you see that dude over there? Say, just yell Tang, grow a mustache." So every time we're out there, they're like, "Hey, Tang," and I look over us, grow a mustache. I'm like, "Fuck you!" I mean, it's like that was just constant. And so, but they just got a kick out of it, and it went on for about a year or two, and I was like, "What is this?" It's like, "Why are you?" And then, what's the whole point in this of this? And if people are noticing, why don't we do something good, with it? And so we started doing charity concerts.
That's awesome.
And so it was like Tang-stache presents, and we did
But it got so bad you actually grew a mustache.
I mean, I got bored. I mean, I was pushing 35, I guess. And I was like, whatever. I gotta change in New York.
Dig it.
Well, I have to say it looks mighty good.
I wish I had one of the old stickers.
Look inadequate.
You look like the sticker.
Yeah, if you have the sticker, you can just compare it.
Now, when you sit right
add
next
this to
to
the video.
this, I can there's a sense of inadequacy
we
right there.
Yeah, we look a little different. Different gnomes. No, but the first time I saw the Tang sticker, I think it was Mac and Ninja both, we were bar hopping in Athens, and they both had clipboards. And both clipboards had a Tang-stache sticker and then just a Tang sticker.
Right.
And they would just walk up to pretty girls or anybody who was in the bar and be like, which one is more appealing? And they'd be like, checks. Like, we're going to start a petition and see how many checks we can get. And then there was there's probably about 2 decades, because Athens doesn't clean well in the bars, bathrooms and stuff. There's probably 2 decades where you couldn't go to the bathroom or go to a toll booth or anywhere
I
without
see that sticker.
seeing them
Is there a
stickers.
way we can find that?
It's online, I think.
Online? If you could just Google what do you do?
Just Google
Tang-stache
Tang-stache.
or
Yeah.
Tang-stache sticker?
What's sad is about 2 years ago, I had open heart surgery, and I got out, and the first place we went, because I was with my mom, we went to some thrift store in Atlanta, and we're going in the little, I guess, a little back room where you try on clothes. And there's just a Tang-stache sticker in the dressing room. I'm like, my first venture out, and I'm at a yard sale store with my mom, and there's a Tang-stache sticker in there. I was like, our work here is done, kids.
That's awesome.
Well, speaking of random moments where things appear that you have been a part of, tell the story about when you were out in Portland, Oregon, I believe it was, or someplace up in Washington. You were on vacation. I think it was you and Scotty trained out there. Did you take a train out there? Or
Yeah, we went.
flew out there?
Yeah, me and Scotty had Scotty, y'all know Scotty. He's like my brother. But
Scotty Nicholson, the keyboard player, the correct effect.
yeah, Scotty. He's got so many nicknames. It's hard to pick one. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oki-Wan Finoki.
Obi-Wan Finoki. No, but Scotty's like always. We're obsessed with trains. We've written a couple train songs, and he's always like, I've always had this dream to drive across the country on a train. And so I was like, well, my nieces graduated from school and got jobs out in San Francisco. And Scotty we're nerding out one day. We're like, what are we going to do over the summer? And I was like, I want to go see Jamie and Jessica in San Francisco. And Scotty's like, there's a train that runs from San Francisco. He already knew it. And they're like, well, let's book it. So we booked a train. We went to San Francisco. And they were talking about Patreon. They worked at Patreon, and we actually did a show, released our album in the Patreon headquarters, and did all that, and then hopped around San Francisco a couple days, and then we got on the train and went to Portland, and we crashed out with our good friend Kellum from Athens, who's living in Portland now, or he got us a couple gigs up there. I actually stayed on one of my former students' couches for a couple days, and I don't know, it's just really good. We drove on this train, but the train ride was amazing because we were a bunch of country western singer dudes singing about trains. We're actually on a train going through the woods. And Scotty, I slept. We're on the train like 17, 18 hours, and I slept because Scotty just drank and looked out the window the whole time. And y'all know him. You know I'm not lying. I woke up one morning and he goes, "You missed it, man.
You missed it.
There were stars earlier, and now there's a sun." No, and I got a picture of Scotty like reflection in the mirror looking at it with all the trees and mountains and stuff.
Oh, man.
And of course, Scotty's got a map going, "We just found Mount so-and-so." He was nerding out, but we had a great time, man.
Yeah, he's first time I learned about his I guess his fascination or his knowledge about trains is when we met. We were in Normaltown. You guys, Skillet was playing over in what's that bar in Normaltown?
Allen's Hamburgers.
And it was after the show. We were hanging out, and he was just talking about Waycross. It's like you know the name of Waycross, where Waycross got its name, and he gave us a history about that. And he's like, yeah, and I grew up just learning about trains with his dad or something, right?
Yeah.
And
did you know that about Scott?
I didn't.
Hey, Scotty.
I didn't.
I didn't
but the crazy thing was like it was after the show, we were drunk, we were hammered, and he had this idea. It's like, hey, I know this train trestle that's about 10, 15 minutes
Every time
away.
we played Allen's, we'd get
And
on.
I'm like, you guys want to go? It's like, sure, let's go. And then we got there, and we saw the train trestle, and I'm like, the gaps were like at least a foot apart. I was like, we're gonna cross this, because
Yeah.
and he said, yeah. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna sober up really quick here, because all I can think about when I saw it, it reminded me of Stephen King's Stand By Me.
Stand by me.
And I was like, do we know when these trains are coming? I was like, do I need to crawl across the tracks? Yeah, exactly.
We would do that. Sometimes we'd run just thinking the train was coming, and then we'd.
Yeah.
But one time, I don't know if you were over there. We went over there one time, and there was some horse that got out of a field. So we got across the track, and we're like, holy crap, this is a horse. And Scotty's like, give it some beer. So like 3 or 4 in the morning with a gallon. And Allen's would they didn't have actual beer. It's just tap. So they would give you like a sweet tea jug, like a gallon jug full of to-go beer.
Yeah.
Which is probably breaking every rule that you can break.
Yeah, we did that back in the 70s at Uncle Sam's. They would provide us with go beer.
To-go beer.
Yeah.
Growlers before it was a thing. No, we've had Scotty. The first time I met Scotty, he was playing with another band that we went to see a lot, and we're like, we're gonna steal that guy. So we met him at an open mic night, and where we got.
Do you remember the name of the band?
He was playing with Jennifer Nettles. I guess it was Soul Miner's daughter at the time. Yeah.
I saw him.
But we don't need to talk about her. She's probably she's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, the first time I think I ever met Scotty was at Whitfield's upstairs. Jennifer Nettles played.
Yeah, they were so good. No, but we were gonna steal him, so I said, Scotty, I'm coming over. We're gonna jam. I'm gonna play you some songs I've written and see what happens. And he said, cool, come on over. And they told me where he lived, and I knocked on the door, and he's like, here, come on in. And I walk in, and there's like stacks of 3 or 4 different locomotive magazines. And he's like, I'm in the back. And I went in the back, and he's sitting there drinking beer, doing a train simulator. Like, I'm riding on a train.
This is Scotty?
Yeah, he's addicted.
Damn. I mean, he never shared that with us. And
he's probably gonna be all embarrassed now.
Train Town, and he's never came up to me and said, so about these trains?
I think that's why he comes to Waycross. It's not us. It's trains. No, but when we were writing Rain Don't Stop the Trains, he's like, you can't say CSS, say Seaboard Line. Like, he's like being a nerd about it, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Graham Griffin helped y'all write that
song.
Yeah.
Well, we had the song we're doing one verse. It was one of those like, we need one more verse. And Graham's like, let's go sit on your tailgate in the parking lot.
He came up with the
he said
biblical reference.
Yeah, he put the Bethlehem verse in there, which is perfect.
Because wasn't it like near Christmas?
Yeah, I was like, that's how easy it is to write a song. You're like, you're in the parking lot at a bar, and there's trains on each side of you, and it's right near Christmas, and you write a verse about Budweiser kings, wise men.
So, Scotty, we have to get Scotty on our Something in the Water podcast very soon so y'all can see
Can you do some Scotty
who and what we're talking about here.
Who and what?
Mr. Scotty.
This guy is a talent. Not only will we discovered something new about him tonight, that he loves trains, but he also obviously loves Toby Keith because Toby Keith had beer for the horses, beer for my horses. You said Scotty told the bartender to pour a beer for the horse.
Give the horse some beer. This is another thing Scotty's got in common with Toby Keith. I got a cool Toby Keith story.
He don't like Toby Keith.
Oh yeah, was it Kobe Teeth?
Kobe Teeth.
No, but my sisters were having a Halloween party. It was right around Halloween, and they were thinking we'll have everybody dress up as their favorite celebrity, and we'll have like a red carpet and make it all fancy and stuff. And so one of my sister's friends looks just like Britney Spears. I think that's what speared the idea. And Heather's like, I can be Jennifer Aniston, and you can be Britney Spears, and this guy can be Tiger Woods, and my brother can be Jack Black, and all this stuff. And they were coming back from a concert, and they have it on one of those big shuttle buses, or MARTA bus, I guess, in Atlanta. And this one guy goes, "Can I come to y'all's party?" And she's like, "Yeah, if you dress up, who?" And he's like, "Who do I look like?" And he goes, "You kind of look like that less talk, more action dude, that country singer dude." And all of his buddies busted out laughing. And she told Toby Keith he could come to the party if he dressed up as Toby Keith.
Oh, it was really Toby Keith?
Yeah, it was really Toby Keith.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
He didn't come, but I thought that was really funny. My ADD Toby Keith segue.
So, talking about, that was 90s, but attractive 80s ladies.
Attractive 80s
Women.
Yeah, so
that was a band you were in.
Yep, that was the band that we started. It was for one of the benefit concerts that we put together. We had booked a few bands. One of them backed out last minute, and we were just thinking, who can we find at such short notice? And I think it was Mac that came up with the idea, and he said, "Hell, everybody plays music. Why don't we just start a band?" And I was thinking, Mac, but you don't play anything. I was like, "It's okay. I'll be your charismatic front man." So that's who he was. He's not vocals. He's the charismatic front man. But yeah, so we got together, my little brother, Patrick, he played lead. I played rhythm. Had a couple of friends, got them together, played drums and bass. We originally had Tang to be our bass player, and then found somebody else. But yeah, he was the first bassist in our band, and we had a keyboardist, Ernie. She was in it. But yeah, it was just we started off because of the benefit shows that we put together, and it was originally for breast cancer, a breast cancer benefit. But then we changed it to the Katrina hurricane benefit because it was that year. I guess 2000.
That was a crazy year.
2005. But yeah.
But y'all had a song called "Fuck Breast Cancer."
Yeah,
right.
That was our first song. It was for the Susan. It was for that breast cancer.
Fuck breast cancer. Come on.
And that was there was no way you could get anybody, even people who were going through breast cancer, to stand up and cheer for that one.
Because the benefit shows that we had, the money that we got from it, first one was donated to the Katrina hurricane, to the Red Cross, and the next two times we were giving it to Susan G. Komen. But the last time they were like, they realized what kind of music we played and that song as well, and they said we'd no longer want to be affiliated with you. So
I was like, all right,
well, we'll just move on, and help out some other
fuck breast cancer
organizations.
money raising group.
No,
We played a show with y'all. Or
Newfanglers. Was it
Newfanglers, I believe.
Yeah, and it was in Brunswick.
In Brunswick?
Yeah, that was.
Was it called the Lamplighter?
It was Swampwise Tour.
Something Saloon.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street Saloon.
Okay.
Or something. It was in the middle of a shopping center.
We had my band and y'all's band, and
you were
there too.
Yeah, we were there.
I knew you were there, but you played there too.
Swampwise Tour, yeah.
Because we played at the Old Creek first.
The Okefenokee Joe.
What year would that have been, y'all?
Yeah, we played at the old
I was
Golden
probably
Corral.
maybe
Right? It used to be the Golden Corral.
Yeah.
It's
And then
probably,
we played over in Brunswick.
Yeah, it was probably a decade ago at least, maybe longer. We're getting old, man.
Oh, you're talking about that show?
And when was that show?
That show was, I don't remember. It was before I left for New York. But
it's a brief
it was
blip
maybe
in my
13,
brain
14 years
right
ago.
now. I can just
I'd
remember.
forgotten about that completely until you said that.
I can remember looking down and seeing a pedal and wires. That's all I can
I think that was,
remember.
we were talking about Johnny Cash, where people were talking about Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was right around when Johnny Cash died too, because I think Paul Lee was there wearing bibs and got in a fight with somebody was wearing bibs. Was wanting to hear Hurt instead of all these other Johnny Cash songs we were playing. Wow, my brain is not working, or it works too much.
I remember that when you played at the Creek was the same week. Is that what you're saying?
It was it was
because I was at that show too.
Because we played the night before at the Golden Corral.
Yeah,
where Golden Corral used to be. And then
we played a Golden Corral.
It was Cypress Creek.
Yeah, Cypress Creek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Mac had a laser tag. Vest and helmet.
Part of our outfits.
I remember
and a cape.
I remember when we were.
Did all of y'all or just him? I can't remember.
It seemed like y'all all dressed up.
Yeah, he dressed up.
Or he did.
Initially, he was the one that had his own little costume, but then it was like a group thing.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
And did each of you go by the name of an attractive ladies
woman? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
who were you?
I was Mia Sarah from Ferris Bueller. Sloan. Mac is Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
Patrick is Christy Brinkley.
Was anybody Kelly LeBrock?
Yeah, Kelly LeBrock was our original drummer.
That's weird science, bro.
Tanj was Lisa Turtle. What's her name? Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell. Voorhees, something Voorhees. I forget her first name.
Her name was Voorhees, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then our bassist is or after John is Shelley Long from Cheers. Who was
Tony Katane? She wasn't in there.
Yeah, Tanj was Tawny Katan.
Who?
Tanj was Tawny Katan. And backtrack. Christy Brinkley was Steve. Patrick was actually what's her name from Top Gun?
Kelly
Lori. No.
Why am I drawing a blank?
Kelly
John Travolta's wife.
No. That's something Presley or Priestley.
That's
right?
Kelly Preston.
Preston, right?
You gonna Google it?
I will Google it.
Google bait.
Here we are, folks, in the
sit around on Google with us.
land of
I got
opportunity.
to play with y'all one night at the Claremont Lounge, and they're like,
Kelly McGillis. Yes.
McGillis.
Thank you.
and I remember Matt was saying, "You get to pick who you are," and I was like, "I was Lita Ford,"
Nice.
even though
She was 70s.
We all had our shirts too. We had photos
80s too.
of each of our alter egos on our shirts when we played.
You have
And
what?
we had stickers too of our alter egos. Like Mia Sarah I had Mia Sarah on my T-shirt. We had.
What if
but
y'all,
after I
what if
left,
y'all
they had
all had gotten
stickers
tattoos? You'd
of
have
all
like
of them. It's pretty
Ferris
cool.
Bueller's girlfriend on your arm.
Yep.
And I remember when we played that show in Brunswick, my dad and my mom were there, and I mean I'm already in a
Ernie.
band singing crazy songs, and Attractive Venus was coming on. I warned my parents. I was like, "Yeah, this is going to be a little different." And the light they started flickering the lights in the bar, and the band started, and they were like, "Where's Mac?" And then he comes out of the bathroom with like a siren going, woo! He's got the helmet and everything. I'm like, what in the world's going on in here? But never a dull moment.
Yep.
Yeah, we had some pretty good shows. It was fun because that's all it was. I mean, we did it for fun. We never really cared to make it big or anything. We just, whenever we had a chance to play somewhere, yeah, why not? You know, and that's what it was all about, just to have fun.
And one time, I had a friend named Don who everybody calls him Big Don. He's a really good guitar player guy. And I think I might have said this on my last podcast, but we've had a gig with him. We were called Front Butt. We formed a band called Front Butt just to sing really funny songs.
New story.
Because we both had a bunch of funny songs, and I was like, we need to form a band just so we can keep up with attractive 80s women and do a gig with them. But I think we booked it when we booked the gig. We formed a band to book the gig. Big Don couldn't make it. It was at the Drunk Unicorn.
Oh,
and
okay.
Big Don's car broke down or something. He couldn't get to the gig. And so when I got to the show, just because Vincent and Steve LeBate and Paul Lee was there and just in the crowd. And I just said, well, let's turn it, instead of being 500-something pound acoustic duo, let's put a rock band together. And we just faked our way through a bunch of songs. We got a video of that.
Really? I want to see it.
Me and you got up and we did.
Because I can't remember any of that.
I think we did Voodoo Child and that Rolling Blunt song all mixed together.
Nice.
Little Wing in the middle of it.
Please share that with me.
But long story short, our two bands were intertwined. It was really fun.
Yeah, pretty much every time we had a show, we asked you guys if you guys were free, especially for the benefit shows. And then that one time we played at, was it Transmetropolitan in Athens?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. And it was fun.
All right, this is how my mind is working. This 67 as it is. It's kind of fits and starts. My
Starts fits.
My synapses, my nerves fire off every now and then, and it just kind of shoot off across it from this side to that. And okay, so you said Front Butt, and I'm thinking we wrote a song when we spent the night in a St. Simon's or something kind of apartment. Was that the same night we played this gig?
Do y'all have a Front Butt reference?
It was.
That was the same night we played the gig. And we wrote a song called Shirt Front Tucking. Frat Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You were probably in the apartment, too.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Scotty
totally
was part of it.
Oh, man.
You think that's like a
Paul,
cosmic, I said front butt, and you
said front
tuck?
butt. My mind went to that. And then I got to hashing it out and thinking, well, we was all in an apartment. I know Scotty and
I remember that. We were. I don't even know whose house it was.
Been the same night that we played the gig with y'all.
And it was like a brand new apartment complex. I think we were.
Where were we?
I think it was Scott and Marcy. I think it was some friends of ours, and they're like, "Let's go back to our new place."
Yeah.
I think Marcy and Scott.
Lord have mercy. I wish I could remember everything.
I think because I remember there was like brand new, like everything was perfectly like shiny and white and clean, and they had us singing about frat boys, and it was that same night because
the song that night.
John. Paul was about to get in an argument with a bunch of them frat boys, and we were making fun of the people Paul was getting in a fight with.
That's what it was.
Man, I blocked all that out. You said front tuck. I said front butt. You said front tuck. And now we're talking about.
I said front butt. You said front tuck.
Everybody, 1, 2.
Folks, that's how songs get written.
You don't want a front tuck if you got a front butt.
You don't. You can't front tuck it with a front butt.
It's just par for the course, beer for the horse.
Feed the horse some beer. Oh Lord, we're old.
Wow.
It's all good though. But anyhow, I was talking about when you went to Portland on the train ride earlier. You were walking the streets of Portland, And randomly, out of the clear blue, you had on a Newfanglers t-shirt. And out of the clear blue, somebody passed you on the sidewalk, saw your t-shirt, and stopped you and said, "Dude, Newfanglers? Blood in the Pines?"
Yeah, somebody, I think...
And you said, yeah. I played on it or something.
Yeah,
like
somebody had referenced it. I think we got a couple friends that live in Portland, and I think it had eased its way up. And the Fangler album's like the perfect album, just like when you have some friends over late and you're like, "Hey, check out this record." Double inbred murder mystery.
Double inbred. Double inbred. What?
I mean, it's like crazy. I mean, how do you can't, you hear Blood in the Pines one time, you want to listen to it, you want to share it with all your friends.
It's dark.
Listen how crazy and weird this one is.
So this guy on the streets of Portland that you didn't even know, perfect stranger, walked up and saw your Newfanglers shirt.
And you always want to do that, like, how do I know you, or how do you know me?
I remember you posting it up on Facebook, the experience, and you said, "The hairs on my arm."
I know, this is creepy.
Stood up.
Did you ask him how he knew about it?
I did. I think we told him, we shamelessly told him we were playing at a bar the next night at this bar. I think it's called.
Y'all got gigs while you were on vacation?
Yeah, we did. We went on vacation. We basically set up a tour like it was. We wanted to do a tour, a show in San Fran, one in Portland, and one in Seattle, and we ended up doing more than that, which was cool. But
why don't you ever do one in New York? What's up?
I need to. Oh, let's look it up.
I keep telling Sean about it, you know.
I think I ran into Vincent a couple of times in New York.
CBGB.
Sneaking off from a field trip that I chaperoned.
It's now a John Varvatos clothing store.
Yeah, it's gone. But CBGB.
Yeah. But it's actually pretty cool. I actually met John Varvatos there.
Is there anything classic left in New York?
Well, it's tough. For the kind of music.
Yeah, I mean anything.
Well, if you're still in the Bowery, there are a few venues that still have music. There's still
Max's
music venues.
Kansas City was a New York club, wasn't it? That's this is an old.
Yeah,
this is from way back '60s. Max's Kansas City, I believe that was a New York club. Studio 54. Mm-hmm. That was
you're
Son
talking
of
about,
Sam.
I know you're talking about some people knowing the Fangler music in Portland. The other day I was at my house, or my mama's house. I've been at my mama's house for about a week. And one of my friends on Facebook sent me a message. She's like, "I want to take a picture of your mom and dad's old house because it's pretty." And so she did and put it on Facebook. And then I was in Savannah and I was getting blowing up my phone. That she was stuck in, or she was calling me through Facebook Messenger, and I'm like ignoring it because I'm driving, and I was like, well, she's calling me like repeatedly. I might need to figure out what's going on. So I answered it, and she was stuck in the ditch. They got the soft sanded road or whatever. She got stuck. So we called my dad to go fish her out of the dirt. But when I called her, I've seen her on Facebook, but never really talked to her. And she's like, "My mama wants to say something to you." Because her mom was with her. She's like, "When you're dead, peckerhead." And I'm like, my first thought was like, what is this woman talking about? And then I realized when John Prine died, I put a video of me singing "When I Get to Heaven" on there. Mm-hmm. And then she told me a story that one of their relatives, I guess it was one of their relatives had died in November. And they played my version of "When I Get to Heaven" at his funeral. Wow. And I just the same little hairs that came up on my arm when that lady said Fangler, or the person said Fanglers in Portland, was like, man, what we do, we think it's just, we do it. We don't even think about it. But this they're playing my version of a song of one of my heroes at a funeral for somebody that,
that's pretty cool.
So it's kind of cool. Every once in a while, music will do that to you and put you in the right place. Or make you feel like you're doing something worth it.
Yeah. Was Ben Coppage in y'all's group, or your age group, or was he
my brother's age?
Your brother's age.
So 4 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, that kind of a story that you were alluding to right there. I was at the old Golden Corral Creek one night, and Ben and several others were on the stage. I can't remember who it was, but whoever Ben was must have been your brother and another one. But it was after our
Try to think.
Newfanglers CD had come out, and anyhow they said, we'd like to do this song. It was written by that guy right back there. I said, what the hell? And they did My Name is Holly Shepherd. And I thought, shit, it kind of blows you away a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't nothing but small town Waycross, but when you do something, when you write a song, you don't expect nobody else to be singing it. You really don't think about that.
It's like that night we played, we played at the Graham Parsons, and Dukes of Glen was playing, and they were about to go on. They were all set up and ready to rock, and it started pouring down rain, and we were under that tent when we were singing all the gospel songs.
That was on a Sunday.
We're all about hungover, halfway back to drunk, and old rock and roll Noel was singing a song, and I was thinking, I know this. He's like, let's just play our set. So they started playing all their songs, and I was singing along to it. And I was like, man, I like this song. I don't. And I was in the back of my head, I'm going, I don't know what it is yet, but I know. Why do I know the words to this? Then I realized he was singing my song, "Hell I Love You."
Dang.
I was like, this dude's singing my song.
How do you not remember that song? That was one of my
I was like, I barely know this guy. And his, when you Graham, you got to pick songs that are connected to Waycross or to Graham or whatever. They picked "Hell I Love You" as one of their songs. I was like,
really cool.
And then he's like, I don't think he knew I was what I was. We had this really cool bonding moment under that tent. Like, these guys are playing my song and it's pouring down rain.
Under an easy.
Then we started singing a bunch of Hank Williams Sr. songs.
That was the day that Camo Jesus
came to us
out of nowhere. Out of the raindrops.
I think that might be one of my favorite Graham Parsons moments.
Kelly, was that his name?
Yeah, Kelly Pike, Scotty's buddy.
Scotty's friend.
Yeah, Scotty's.
I think remember him? He used to come to the festival.
Yeah, Scotty. I think Scotty.
Camo Jesus.
He just came out of nowhere.
He had a camo poncho.
Camo poncho, and he had looked just like Jesus. No, I think that was one of my favorite memories from Graham Parsons. And you think about all the memories we have from Graham Parsons.
Oh, Lord.
But singing gospel music on a Sunday at Graham Parsons under a tent.
Under that tent on the left side of the stage there.
And that's when Honey Blue had that girl with the washboard thing. Good times.
Oh, yeah.
Is your cork down in there?
It's in there. Still works.
brother.
B is for Bakers.
So how long has the Graham Parsons Festival been around?
This year will mark our 24th annual.
Wow. Okay.
And I count from my backyard in 1998 was the first annual.
Oh, wow.
Now at that point I called it the Griffin guitar pool, but I had the guitar pool. And where I got that from was Harlan Howard, the legendary songwriter in Nashville, Tennessee, that wrote "I Fall to Pieces" and "I Got a Tiger by the Tail" and all them great songs.
By the tail.
Just wonderful stuff. He is the dean of country songwriters, and they used to have an annual party in his honor in Nashville. And I reckon I'm drinking mine neat too. Thank you, buddy.
That's how you do it.
And I read about his annual birthday bash, and it was called the Harlan Howard Annual Birthday Bash and Guitar Pool. And I thought,
that sounds cool.
The two words just sound nice together. And I've always attempted to find out what the meaning of a guitar pull is, because when you put it, equate it to tractors, and you'd pull them guitars apart. So it's like pulling strings. I'm thinking, people sitting around a campfire, sitting in a house or something in a circle, and it's called a guitar pull. Pull on this,
I always thought it meant like pull, like you take pulls off a bottle and pass it. I thought like play a guitar and pass it. I think we actually did that at your house a couple times where we'd play and pass it.
Oh
play and pass it.
We've done it there, and we did it at your old 2-story house on Brunel Street.
Yeah.
We did that one day over there.
That was right after Grand Parsons one year.
It was.
It was a Sunday.
Speaking of guitar pulls, I thought that those two words sounded so great together. I lived up in Athens at the same time, and I started doing those Thursday night guitar pulls at Caledonia and at the Hummingbird.
Hummingbird, yeah.
And random segue, like 20-something years later, back then we had just met Betsy Frank and this girl named Kimberly Morgan. I think she's Kimberly York now, but they could just both sing like crazy and had great songs. So the first couple guitar pulls I had that they played, and that's Kimberly had a party at her new house, and Ray Wiley Hubbard played at it.
I saw those pictures.
Betsy got to open up, and Paul Lee ran sound. It was like everybody there. I knew everybody there, and it was like this
just happened.
Private party.
Yeah.
It was really crazy.
Did you see those?
I did see pictures. I was very
We had
jealous.
a guitar pull in her backyard with Ray Wiley.
I was peanut butter and jelly.
Ray Wiley. Good Lord.
No, but I mean, that just shows you how long ago it was, because I haven't.
When was
It's probably been 20 years ago that
No.
we had those guitar pulls.
Oh, okay.
10 years ago, at least 15.
Well,
How old am I
Ray
again?
Wiley looks good.
Yeah,
I mean, how old is the fella? He's got to be as old as me or older.
yeah, he's getting up there. We can Google it, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
he
looked damn good. He looked young to me.
the cool
been working
thing
out.
on his face, the look on his face, talking about it, musical experiences. He's like probably played all over the globe and played for big. He's played everywhere, and he was at a pool party for about 20-something people.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where is my life these days?" But I mean, by that
Well,
night,
if the money's there,
he had like a great time, man. We were hanging out with him afterwards, and he was just smiling ear to ear. Like he was just. I mean, that's the way you got to be, man. You got to
talk to him.
Oh yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
74.
He's
He's
74.
74. Wow. I wouldn't have
figured
guessed
he was
that.
a little older than me because he's accomplished so much. He wrote, didn't he write Rednecks, White Socks, Blue Ribbon Beer?
I think he's. I know he wrote that.
I think
Up
he
Against
wrote
the
that
Wall,
song.
Redneck
Or
Mother.
that was the one that he wrote, Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother.
Redneck mother.
Yeah,
That's
we.
it.
I remember I met him a couple of times. We went to see him one time with Fester, and it was like because me and Fester are like songwriting guys, big fans of the guy, and we went to see him, and he was playing like on a Tuesday, like a day of the week in Athens, and he had a decent crowd, but like about the same size crowd as one of us would have on a Tuesday in Athens, but we got to meet him, and he said. I told him that I sang that dance at my wedding to that song with my mom, and he goes, "That's so unfortunate." No, but he was cool. He told us to go see this guy named Bob Livingston. That was one of his buddies was playing a couple weeks later at this even smaller bar. So we went to see him, and Bob Livingston was doing all the little kind of Todd Snyder, like tell a story, play a song. And he said, "Yeah, everybody knows me. I used to play bass with Ray Wiley and Jerry Jeff back in the day, and I was there the night that Ray Wiley wrote that Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother." He said he was standing, or there was two bars across the street from each other, and one was like the hippie tree hugging, like my mother is beautiful, I love nature, and all this
Folk
stuff.
music.
And then the other one across the street was just doing Merle Haggard covers, pretty much. And so he said, "Man, we're over here pouring our heart into our songs and nobody's listening and we're not making any money. Let's put on a cowboy hat, put our hair up in a cowboy hat and go make some money across the street." So he did that, and he went over there, and he said that it was run by this old redneck lady and these two inbred sons. And he basically got about halfway through his gig before they realized that he wasn't one of them. And they ran him out, beat him up and threw him out in the street. And they got back over there to the coffee house and they're like, we need to write a song about them horrible people across the street. He said they're just drinking and then they're like, well, we'll never record it. And then Jerry and Jeff ended up recording it. And Ray Wiley told us the other night, he said,
Mother
the
who
secret
has raised her son so well.
Yeah, he said the secret of songwriting, it ain't about the words or rhyming or the guitar parts. It's if you want to sing it for the rest of your friggin' life. Every night for the rest of your friggin' life. Because you can tell he's not too fond of it after singing it twice a night for 30 years. Well, Ray Wiley Hubbard field trip is over.
That was awesome.
Let's take a short break and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, we'll be right back.
Something in my brain won't let me stray. Something in my veins gonna find its way. Something in the water taught me how to pray. When the cold black water finds its way into your veins, you'll never be the same.
Well, folks, we're back, and as you can see, we are guitar ready, and we're going to do a song that Ty wrote. Now, Ty, tell us a little bit about this one.
All right. Well, actually, we're jamming. We got the guitars ready, but we're not really sure about the songs. But from a songwriting perspective, me and Sean scored tickets to go see Willie Nelson, I think, from Jimmy, and we went up there, and I was like, we'll go see Willie Nelson right outside of Nashville. And we had press passes, so we got to sit in the little gully between the stage and the crowd. And me and Sean were already like, we're going to write a song. It's going to happen. We're going to do it. And we never did. I think at the time, I won't talk too social or weird about us, but I think he was partying one way and he only smoked and I only drank. And so we were like, come on, it's Willie Nelson. Let's get together and meet in the middle. And I think somebody, I don't know if it was him or me, but one of us came up with 2 wrongs makes it right. And I was like, well, let's write a song about it. And then we never did because we had too much of 2 wrongs going and we didn't do it. I think we hid Jimmy's camera and walked down a dirt road to get home. And then we stole his truck to go see. Because Willie got done at like 9 o'clock. And so we were like, let's go downtown Nashville. Yeah. So we went downtown Nashville and we were bar hopping and everybody was playing the exact same set, exact songs, exact same way. And we're like, we need something different. And we ended up in some bar where there's a Poison cover band. There's like 3 people in there. I think two of them beeline right to me and Sean. They were girls about the size of me and Sean. I think
real sexy.
I think back then one of them was trying to take Sean home, and he's like, I ain't going nowhere. And I was like, I'll go home with one of them if you could talk the other one into going on. With 2 wrongs make it right. And then we're like, well, shit, there's a second verse.
That was the theme of the night.
The theme of the night. And then so somehow we never finished it. We never started it, actually.
But the second line is they were big girls.
No, but long story short, I'm driving home from Nashville. And I wrote the song in the car on the way home, and I called Sean and sang it to him. And he's like, we're going to record it. You're going to record with the Hookers. It's going to be great. It's going to be a hit. We even got the stanky leg, Elvis Presley, Sean Clark, stanky leg. And then I let Betsy Frank hear it, and she's like, I want to sing it.
And then it was
over.
That's all she wrote.
Sean got X'd out. And I remember we were sitting at a Nowhere bar one time. I got on the jukebox at the Nowhere bar, and everybody's like, we're sitting there one night. We're like, someone gave some money to go to the jukebox. Said, play a Betsy Frank song, and it came back and played "Ready to Ride" and 2 wrongs make it right. I'm like, okay, that's what Betsy does. She can steal your song on accident.
So here's.
But we're gonna try to do it with the original person that I was gonna duet with it.
This is Sean singing Betsy Frank's part,
and I don't know it very well.
Okay. And we wanted to jam, and so we're gonna let Tang jump in with us.
I've got cliff notes.
They say I drink too much whiskey
and I smoke too much pipe.
If they sobered up, they'd miss me.
Then I guess you better not.
Well, it's not one or the other. It's like bread on butter if they make you feel alright.
Let me tell you, friend, when you double the sin, it makes for one hell of a night.
Oh, 'cause sometimes two wrongs make it right. Well, you know I don't, and I usually won't, but maybe tonight I might. So smoke 'em if you got 'em, drink it till the bottom. Don't you tell me how to live my life. Oh, 'cause sometimes two wrongs make it right.
She was a big girl,
And her sister was too.
they were dancing up on each other
Like escapees from the zoo. And to say the least, they were both beasts. I know that's not your type. And
Neither one's worth the trouble, but make it a double and I'll take them both home tonight.
Oh, 'cause sometimes two wrongs make it right. Oh, if thin is in, well, let me tell you, best friend, they've been out for a long, long time.
So smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Drink it till the bottom.
Don't you tell me how to live my life.
'Cause sometimes two wrongs make it right. Some things are meant to be together.
Our trailer parks in bad, bad weather.
Dick and Keith from the Rolling Stones.
Tammy Wynette and old George Jones.
R.C. Cole and stale moon pie.
Daryl Hall and that other little guy.
Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, you don't know me. Sometimes two wrongs make it right. Well, you know I don't, and I usually won't, but maybe on my birthday I might. So look 'em if you got 'em,
Drink 'em to the bottom.
don't you tell me how to live my life. That's right. Sometimes two wrongs make it right. I said sometimes two wrongs make it right. Singing like Ian Waycross. I said sometimes two wrongs make it right. Out of sight.
Michael McDonald.
I think that was wrong twice enough to be right.
That was awesome.
No, that was cool.
Yeah, man.
Y'all want to just
That
jam
wasn't
one,
my-
fake one?
Yeah.
Are we still rolling?
Yeah, just keep the magic going.
All right, here's the deal. COVID happened, all that pandemic crap, and I was like, I wrote a couple songs that were really depressing and sad, plus all my health bullshit, and it's like, I'm gonna try to write a happy song. So I wrote this like really pretty music up high and like Ryan Adams-y sounding crap, and I was like, screw it, I want to rock. So I made I changed it to a rock song. And you know, when you're a songwriter, you gotta like do that whole bounce it off somebody to see if they think it's worth finishing, or if what they think. And so I sent it to Jason Chancey, and he's like, I think you got a good one, man. Maybe do a verse about being broke but having love or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. So he gave me a couple ideas, and I came up with this. And I don't even have a whole song, but since we're winging it anyway, let's try to, maybe we can come up with some magic. And I don't even know what to tell you how it goes because I'm still writing it, but
Roll with it.
here goes nothing. And I think I'm gonna call this Blue Sky Sunshine. Is that a Sweetwater sticker?
Yep.
Man, I don't have ADD at all.
Sweetwater bookmark.
And I'd like to dedicate this song to my T-shirt because I've been hanging out with Blackberry Smoke too much. All right, here we go. This one's just G, F, and C a lot over and over again.
All right.
I don't even know what key it's in. I guess
Probably G.
probably G. Where's Scotty when you need him? All right, here goes nothing. Shut up, Ty. Sing.
Wrote this song for you, trying to turn your tears into blue skies. And all you've got to do is close your pretty eyes and feel the sunshine. Blue sky sunshine. Girl, your pretty smile is my sunshine. Oh, I'm a rich man, even though I don't have any money. 'Cause your love is solid gold, twice as pure as wildflower honey. Wildflower honey, sweet and pure like wildflower honey. Go to sea. All I need is you, oh, to get me through. And I can do the same for you if you let me be my wildflower honey. And I will be your blue sky sunshine.
I think
We'll
you got
figure
you a
out how it
southern
ends
anthem.
later.
Yeah, no.
That sounds like a song to me.
Kind of, that's worth
Have
getting
to-
going on, maybe.
Have to agree with Jason Chancey on
Which one do you want to fake a train song?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can pull off the Rain Don't Stop the Trains.
What's it on this one?
You don't want to get on it?
Which song is this?
Old Barefoot Hooker song. Me and Scotty. Yeah, this song, I wrote this with Scotty and John Tonge and sitting at me and John lived together in Watkinsville.
I'm going to just play a little field stuff.
Y'all probably heard it enough to fake to help me sing it, right?
Yeah, I can jump in on that.
Let's try it one time. I just realized it's the exact same song we just did. Yeah. I only got one trick.
They all start like that.
I see you're about to walk back down the hill.
Boom.
Oh, well, the rain don't stop the trains in my heart. And those signals you've been sending, tearing us apart. Well, our love's bound to derail from the start. Oh, the rain don't stop the trains in my heart. Well, I was in Waycrossan, Georgia on my birthday.
Yeah, you was.
And I rode in on that old seaboard line. And I saw you smile at me from the station. And I knew deep in my heart I had to make you mine. So I stepped up off that train to try to find you. And I ended up at the only bar in town. But I saw you honky-tonkin' with that Tang fella. So I commenced to drink myself upside down. Oh, well, the rain don't stop the trains in my heart. And those signals you've been sending, tearing us apart. Well, our love was bound to derail from the start. Oh, the rain don't stop the trains in my heart. Take it, Sean. Oh, waking up hungover on a Sunday is like trying to find a room in Bethlehem. And these northbound trains, not the northern stars that guide me. Oh, I would probably find you, girl, if I was a Budweiser man. Oh, well, the rain don't stop the trains in my heart. And those signals you've been sending, tearing us apart. Well, our love was bound to derail from the start. Oh, the rain don't stop the trains in my heart. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. Trains in Waycross.
Well, that's fun, y'all.
Let's go.
What we're gonna talk about now?
Y'all got any more music?
I was
Y'all got
raised
any
in the
more
backwoods.
music?
Talk about bear.
More music?
Or
Who are you?
I got one I'm working on, but I don't know if it's ready for any ears. But needs a chorus. That's kind of important.
I got a new one that's really Leon Redbone-ish.
Yeah.
Is it the one you and Connor worked on?
Yeah.
Which
Do it.
was what?
We'll just lay
I mean,
low
I'll
and
just,
watch it.
Fry
I'll just
that
run.
chicken?
that chicken.
That was funny though.
You know how politically correct that is nowadays? I'll fry that chicken might not go over well. And
You think I'm damn she's fat.
Oh Lord, everybody's got to just take a step backwards and
yeah,
relax.
you can't call somebody fat or fried chicken.
You can call me
anymore.
fat. What is that there? Oh, okay. I thought there was something playing.
In the
Shit.
beginning, good
sounded like a
overpower the
speaker.
evils of
does.
all man's sins. Sorry.
This working title here is "Deep in the Ditches."
Man.
I made up that. I mean, I don't even know what I had in my mind coming up with it, but that riff reminded me of 13th Floor Elevators.
Rory Erickson or something like that.
Roky Erickson, right? R-O-K-Y, but it's Roky, I think.
Really? I thought his name was Rory. I've seen so many
I don't know.
documentaries on that. Austin, wasn't it? Or Houston?
But I listened to it. It's
Texas
similar, but I
music.
don't think it's a ripoff. But it was reminding me of something, and I finally figured out it was that. But I hadn't heard that in so long that I don't know. But anyway, it's like it's hard to see the chords, huh, guys? So that's like a C.
You gotta scratch the dirt to make it work, darling. This ain't no life for the poor disheartened. Straight off the pages of an unspoken rhyme, deep in the ditches of a worried mind. I'm going back to where this all got started. Trash can rhythm of a washboard hearted. Bring back the songs of the six-string saints. Bring back the rage of a teenage angst. Down in the trenches with the broken hearted, let's say a prayer for our dear departed. You can't make it on luck, cause I tried. Nobody's getting out this world alive.
Very nice.
Something
very nice.
new. Something.
Yeah.
It's got some fleshing out to do. Play something, Vincent. Play us something.
Man, I can't sing and play at the same time that well. At least not the songs that I play. Like Track to Babies related songs.
Mhm.
So and it's
Just
kind
play-
of out of. It's totally different.
Yeah, I know, but just play the guitar to one.
Play the guitar.
I don't know.
I mean,
Would you rather play one just
if you play,
We can just jam. Do something you know
I
that
mean,
we do. We can do a.
I can play. I could play the chords and you guys play lead to it.
yeah? Would you rather?
Sunday morning. Wild turkey on Saturday night. Jesus Christ on Sunday morning. Holy roller. Those are the bases. B is for Baker, T is for turkey.
Wild turkey.
Yeah, shit. This might be the deep end.
Is it my birthday
Keep
yet?
going.
Is it your
It's
birthday?
close.
Is it my birthday?
It's 11:47.
11:47 coming out of the tie.
Coming to
11:47 coming out of the top.
to my
That was probably hurt. They're gonna put an 11:47 up my groin and fix my heart.
1147 coming out with a tie.
Speaking of which,
1147 going up my thigh.
speaking of which, you have had a history of heart issues,
Yeah.
holes
Holes.
in your heart.
Yep, I got a hole.
You wrote a song.
I did?
I got a hole in my heart.
No, he did.
There's a hole in you.
There's a hole in my bucket.
There's a hole in my heart where
No,
there's a hole.
that's a different song.
Okay.
There's the hole where your heart fell out is bleeding.
The hole where your heart fell out is bleeding. That's the song you wrote.
Wow, that's
Okay.
that's crazy.
The hole where your heart fell out is bleeding.
That's a woman's private parts. The hole where her heart fell out, and it's bleeding. It was a country song.
I used to have a
country
Warrant
song.
album, you know that band Cherry Pie?
Good punk song.
If you open up the album, like the vinyl record of Cherry Pie, it says, she doesn't have a cherry, but that's no sin because she still has the box the cherry came in. It says that when you open it up, but you don't know that unless you listen to vinyl.
You don't know that. Let's listen to vinyl.
She's my cherry pie. Okay.
I bet you that freaked a lot of parents out.
Yeah, like people are like, what the hell's he talking about? They get a lot of those moments.
Suburban mothers.
Suburban mothers. So what we're gonna do? Let's jam something that we all know. Well, what do we do at Dave's song?
Yeah, Dave.
We do Curl Up and Die.
Oh, can we do curl up?
We could probably harmonize with it a little bit.
I handed mine up.
Yeah, we could.
You want to play it? You play it, I sing it, or I play it, you sing it?
We can swap verses. I can do the second verse. You can do the first one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You work this thing.
I'll let you play it.
Hold up a second. Let me change drives.
Yeah, let's see here. I got to figure out.
If that song that we played earlier makes it onto the podcast, that's the music to fuck breast cancer.
Fuck breast cancer. Come on.
I knew
Okay.
it sounded familiar. That's what it
Well,
was.
see, was that recording when he just said that?
I got audio.
Were we recording that when he just explained that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that's good.
I'll let you play it, Dave. I'll just
Sit
just
back
sing
and
it.
drink some ginger
I
ale.
need to come forward here with this whole setup.
While we're
I need to sit.
not recording, are you doing a tale of the week to end of this?
Well, I don't know if this is a deep end. We had. I guess
there's a
we've
big
already
weight.
committed to
After
it.
the break, it's been deep in.
There's a
But
big weight on there. I don't want to like actually.
Oh, I got you.
You just turn it out. Yeah, just
hey, but you know, this could end up. The first part could end up being an episode, regular episode. We can come back and cap that off,
Yeah.
and all that jamming could end up on Patreon or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Endless.
One
I'm
of
just
them
talking
songs
out
is
loud.
Probably good enough to play. We'll figure out which. Maybe do one of them on the podcast or something.
Yeah.
Are you gonna call the podcast "Son of Wong's"? Did we even mention Wong's Palace?
No, we
Not
haven't.
Yeah, we need to talk about. We need to talk about.
Yeah, I
Wong's
want
Palace.
to do that. I definitely want to do that.
I want to tell my prom story on tape. Let's go old school, man.
That's the thing about small towns.
Salute to your dads. I'm in a knot, baby. Here, you hold this and I'll sing.
Or I'll just put it.
I feel swanky cool now with this microphone. Hello, how blue Christmas without you.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Key
Y'all ready?
Where we at, Justin? Just go ahead and just start. Well, folks, this is an old truck driving song I wrote in my garage, and I dedicated it to my daughter. And Ty put this on his last album. What was the name of that album?
Empty House, and you can get it anywhere albums are sold on the internet.
And
Tang-stache.com.
Tang-stache.com.
Ty Manning and the Slawdog Biscuits did a cover version of this song, but we're going to do it here today for you. It's called Curl Up and Die.
Won't you curl up and die in my arms, little darling? Won't you curl up and die in my arms, little one? 'Cause your daddy is home and the full moon is falling. Stop weeping, your crying is done. Your crying is done. I've traveled from Tampa to Tempe, wandered millions of miles. Well, I've seen wondrous things, but they left me half empty compared to your beautiful smile. So won't you curl up and die in my arms, little darling? Won't you curl up and die in my arms, little one? 'Cause your daddy is home and the full moon is falling. Stop weeping, your crying is done. Your crying is done. Well, the road is my constant companion. Highway's my closest friend. I'd swim the West Coast and I'd jump the Grand Canyon just to lie in sweet arms again. Won't you curl up and die in my arms, little darling? Won't you curl up and die in my arms, little one? 'Cause your daddy is home and the full moon is falling. Stop weeping, your crying is done. Your crying is done.
Have mercy.
Somebody hug me. That's a great song, Dave.
Thanks. Well,
What are we talking about now, Daddy?
well, that's exactly it, daddies. Because there's a line in that song that says, "Your daddy is home,"
Yeah.
and I know that your daddy was one of the most amazing men. I don't know. I can't just say Waycross because he was certainly far beyond that. Your daddy, Paul Tang, was a figure here in Waycross, and the restaurant. And I've heard so many people say it, and I can attest to this because I was a customer there. And from the very first time that I went in there, your daddy would greet everybody at the table. And the second time I went in there, whether it was a week, a month, or several later that I went back, he would come up to me once again, and say, "Hello, Mr. Griffin." Or,
Yeah, he knew you. He remembered everything.
He had what you call a photographic memory, or I don't know. Can you relate to that in any way?
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Can you tell me how being the son of this man? Can you tell me how he did that? Because this was,
honestly, I don't, because I mean he had the best memory.
yeah, it was amazing.
For me, it's tough to even remember what I did last week sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
But no, I think it's because he was a very considerate and caring person. You know,
He was that. Yeah.
regardless of who he spoke to. Yeah, I mean, he made it personal. I think a lot of it is because of where he came from, and how he was able to connect with a lot of people here, because he himself, you know, grew up in kind of the rural areas of Hong Kong, or outside of Hong Kong in the New Territories. He was a farmer. I mean, he was a farm boy. You know,
Cool.
you know, when you hear about I'm gonna go off on a tangent here,
That's okay.
or
that's
going off a
okay.
rant, but you know how you hear about, I guess for our generation, you have your grandparents would say, when I was your age, I used to walk 5 miles to the bus to get to school and all that. Well, that's what he did. You know, that was my pops. You know, he lived out in the farm. He'd get up at 5 a.m, you know, feed the chickens, the water buffalo, and whatever else that was going on. Like we had a oyster farm, stuff like that. You know, he lived in a farm. He grew up in a farm, and he had to travel far away to get to school and whatnot. But he was able to relate to a lot of people here because it's the same. You know, it's no different, and that's why he found it. You know, this was his home. He lived in New York for a long time, and he knew that it was living in a city is tough, and he enjoyed it, but he thought, you know, what is the best way to raise his family, and he thought, you know, both my parents, you know, this is something that it's got to be something that they're used to, and this is, you know, coming to Georgia, coming to Waycross, that was when they had the opportunity, they took it, because this is something that he knew that he could raise a family like he used to. I mean, like it was in the same way that he grew up, you know,
rural, like where they were from.
Very rural.
Were you born here?
I was born in New York.
New York,
and then
you were born prior to the move.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
and then he had the opportunity to come down and take over the business here, and
the business is Wong's Palace. I don't know if we said
folks,
that.
Right? We hadn't alluded to that yet, but this is a major restaurant right here in Waycross that we've loved for years. Wong's Palace Restaurant on 9th Avenue, and as a matter of fact, they are a sponsor every year. Your daddy started this. many, many years ago when you were a little boy.
Yep.
Well, at least 24 years ago. So, sponsor of the festivals that we put on right here, and they feed all of the artists, and we're grateful, so grateful for your daddy's generosity, and it's carried on through the years. Your mama is still with us, and
Yeah, and
where did they meet?
They met in Jersey, actually.
In New Jersey.
Yeah, because even though they lived in New York,
Yeah.
they had to commute to Jersey for work because
Yeah.
work wasn't really easy to find back in
Yeah.
the day. So they met at a restaurant in Jersey.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's they came from Hong Kong at different times and had their own paths, and then they met here in the States.
And your mom is just as special.
Yeah.
She is.
And how
so
did
sweet.
how did they get to? Was it Douglas first and then Waycross? Or
Waycross first.
so how did
Waycross and
they
Douglas.
know somebody here? Or?
Yeah, because they knew the people that ran the business first. I mean, their last name was Wong, and so that's why that's where the name came from.
That's good.
So
That's good.
my parents were like, if the business is good and then
Don't
people are
change it.
familiar with the name, it's like if it ain't
Yeah.
broken, don't fix it,
Right,
that
yeah.
kind of thing. So
I always wondered why it was called
Tang
Wong's.
Palace would
Yeah.
sound a little.
well,
Thanks.
Well,
if
I mean,
you-
Wong Palace
well,
sounds
my
kind of risque, but
well, my uncle, I have an uncle who ran a business in ran a restaurant in Sylvester, Georgia, and
Yeah.
then, and they called it House of Tang. So
House of Tang.
that actually sounds better than Tang's Palace, you know.
Yeah. That's a Tang. That's good.
So
Well, me growing up in the '60s, Tang was a drink,
an orange drink.
an
Right.
orange drink.
Astronaut.
Yeah,
orange.
that the astronauts carried out
Yeah.
in space with them.
and that's how I have to spell my name sometimes when people are asking me what's your name, it's like Tang, Tang, like the juice box. And so that's when they get it sometimes. But yeah, people. It's usually the older folks that understand
can
Tang,
relate
not
to
the
it, yeah.
younger generation.
Yeah, it was big.
Yeah, but back to my parents contributing to all to the festival and
Mm-hmm.
to a lot of the other organizations here. They're really all about community, and that's why they did the things they did, and they wanted to be a part of this community, and in order to do that, it's to be able to help others, and so that's what he really instilled in us kids as well. And so whenever we come home, it's it doesn't feel foreign to me, or it doesn't feel different. Even though I live in the big city, I always look forward to coming home for a certain amount of time. But yeah, I've got to. But at the same time, it's just like I look back and I see how much they've, how much of a community that they've made for themselves as well, and so it's it's honestly, it's kind of sometimes it's tough to come home because this is something that it reminds me of my pops all the time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the people that he's known. Because I mean, he was a talker. He knew a lot of people.
Yeah, he could have got elected if he ran.
Oh yeah, yeah. He could have run for office, but
No,
that wasn't him. That wasn't his. That wasn't his thing. It was more like just.
no.
He
did more by not being in that.
Yep.
He
in that
adopted
role.
people too. Like he definitely adopted me and John and all of our little clique of friends.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It's
it
like
was-
even folks at the restaurant. If you look at the people that grew up working at the restaurant, these kids back then, now adults, they still come back, and even they come back and help out because I mean my parents were all about education, the family and education. Education was always like a priority, and so I wasn't like his kids weren't the only ones that got that lecture or received that lecture from my pops. It's like it's always they took that time to really try to influence the people that worked at the restaurant and say you can always learn and succeed, and as long as you make the effort, right? And And that's why whenever they come home, they always come back to the restaurant and
That's true.
say hello. But and it's the same thing with, even my friends, like Ty just said, but even people that I don't even see in such a long time, Sean, like.
That's where I ran into you. Just going to get some takeout. I was like, yeah, we got to have it at least once a week.
You're talking about
recently y'all ran into each
Yeah,
other.
that's how we got to talking about.
Yeah, no,
he was up there, and I was like, Vincent.
Last week. And I was like, yo.
Yeah, we had the little family reunion in the parking lot the other day, too.
Yeah, it was like 2 days after you came by. He showed up.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, let's play some music.
You're talking about him donating food for the music festivals. I come down here, I probably played at least 3/4 of those things. And I'll be trying to talk my band into like, hey, y'all want to go down to Waycrossan? I know it's 5 hours away and it's going to be crazy hot and all, but they're like, we're going to get that Chinese food again at Wong's Palace. I was like, probably, yeah. We'll probably get to meet the guy and hang out with him. It was always awesome. I want to tell him this. I should tell him the story about the prom.
Do it.
I went to high school in Brantley County, and the girl I was dating, we had the prom for Brantley County. It was like 1990. And this is long before I met Vincent or John or anybody. And this prom was on St. Simon's, but my date wanted to eat at Wong, so we drove from my mom's Bonneville all the way to Waycross. We ate at Wong's at like maybe 4 o'clock because we had to eat early because get all the way back to St. Simon's. And we're in I'm in a tuxedo with my mullet and my mustache. And we're eating, and his dad comes out, and he's like, you are looking too nice here. I have to take your picture. And so we took a little prom portrait, and he made us stand like you do at the prom with like behind each other and stuff. And he took a Polaroid picture, and he hung it on the wall. And I think he wrote Brantley County, or he wrote prom on there. And then I told my mom, and the next time we went up there, it was hanging on the wall. It hung on the wall for a long time. And then like cut to like 7 or 8, 5 or 6, however many years it was till I met Vincent. And I get back in the restaurant. He's like, yeah, we had to go eat at Wong's. That's where my mom and daddy work. And we went up there, and his dad, the first thing he said to me is, Brantley County prom. He remembered me. I like, how was he going to remember me?
I don't know. That's just great.
Plus, I look totally different. I mean, I went from looking like Ralph Macchio to looking like Silent Bob.
I was wondering if you had the blonde tips or the blonde.
Yeah, I look like the not so Slim Shady.
There are people that are capable of doing that, of remembering, and when they,
you're one of
them. Not like that, not to that level. That level is when you pair that with entrepreneur and a business establishment, you pair that. That's like recipe for success, because everybody likes to be remembered, and your daddy is well remembered, and by me anyhow. And I know I can speak for everybody in this town. He left an impression upon everybody that he touched, and I'm sure he left an impression on you because you're carrying on with the amazing '80s ladies doing the doing the benefits and stuff. You've got the same heart inside you that your daddy did, and that's absolutely wonderful for this world.
You didn't tell us what you're up to now, man. That's what we ain't hung out in a while.
Yeah, man.
Share with the world.
Well, it's been.
So you're in New York now?
Yes, sir. I've been in, yeah. Well, I've been there for almost 14 and a half years.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's been tough. But like you said, my dad was a big influence on me. And, I did a lot of things that I could do. He taught us a lot about love and compassion and, community and the importance of that. And so I try to carry that with me even in New York, because even though I'm from there, I grew up here, and I grew up with the values that my parents instilled in me, but also the values that this town has instilled in me. You know, like we're very much the same in those ways, and the values are the same. And so, aside from the benefit shows that we used to throw back in A-Town in Atlanta, you know, it's just being a good human being, and so that's what I did. You know, I continue to remind myself of that. And so, if you're talking about recently, if you're asking about recently, you know, I'm not going to get political, but you know, you've heard. I don't know how much of news that you hear about across the country these days here, but there's been a lot of anti-Asian hate crimes that's happening.
Yeah.
And so
I've seen it in the news.
yeah, and it's been pretty intense for a lot of people, and it's caused a lot of fear and concern with families. You know, they're afraid to come out, and so I've been to a few rallies. You know, trying to listen to people to speak up, speak out. I've actually been involved as well, but you know, just like anything else, to a point you get you find some comfort, or you find what's the word? I guess you do find some comfort that people are talking about it, or you find some you find like you find support, but at the same time people continue just to talk, but there's no action.
No action.
And so for me, I've been seeing a lot of that, and I've noticed a lot of that. So what I've been trying to do lately, I used to do a practice group. I practiced martial arts on and off since I was a kid. And so since I've been up in New York, I've always met up with different people who's had some backgrounds in martial arts or no background at all. And so I used to do this practice group in the park, anywhere, usually around my neighborhood. And we learn, you know, mostly just boxing, kickboxing. I took a break for a while because of the pandemic. But with the recent hate crimes, I restarted that, but focusing more on teaching self-defense to, you know, for women and elders. And so I figured, you know,
That's great.
talk is just talk. You know, you gotta put
do
things into
something.
action. And so
Actually do
I'm just
something.
trying to help the community in doing that.
Well,
So it's been a small group, but I'm hoping to expand that once I get back up to New York.
I can't.
Yep.
I don't want to call it a bigotry, because I think it's more like stupidity.
Yeah.
You know, this current rash of the violence that's going on. You know, it's just uncalled for, totally uncalled for. And I applaud anything that anybody is doing out there to make it right, to set it right, you know. But you know, we're fighting an uphill battle because these people are really stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
and it's a problem. It is a problem.
definitely, and I feel like there's, I don't fault. There's just so much that's going on. Everybody with everything that's happening right now with this pandemic, but it's there's been a lot of division even within our own communities. People are so frustrated with what's going on, they kind of lose themselves, and so in addition to stupidity, I think there's just a lot of people that are lost and they need guidance, and we're not getting enough of that.
Yeah.
And so they're just quick to react or respond in a way where maybe it's something that they would inherently do or whatnot, but it's just the way that the leadership that we have, you know, we're not getting enough of the right guidance or right actions, you know, and so people are stray away from that, or
there's
they're
a
just
lot
so
of
caught up in
frustration out there, right?
their own issues, and they want to take it out on others and whatnot, and so but at the same time, we're all adults here, you know. You should know what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
And you know, they they should be held accountable for what they do. You know, there shouldn't be excuses. You know, with that said, you know, they are still responsible for what they do, and there's just no accountability these days. And so I think we have to try harder to make sure that they are being held accountable, and that's our responsibility. You know, as a community. You know.
If we could all,
Can I play a song? I got a verse that we could finish. This is like a songwriting idea.
Want to take this one?
Either one, it don't matter.
Okay.
I was watching. I guess I gotta get this mic near me. I was watching all this the world pretty much implode over the pandemic, and I was like, let's write a song. I think the secret is everybody just needs to be nice to each other. Everybody's being stupid, and I only got a verse here, and then after I wrote it, I realized I wrote "Let It Be." I wish everyone would play nice instead of whetting their appetite. Oh, a thing that just ain't right. Will we ever learn? Even if we all disagree, it's cool to have a little empathy with not just friends but our enemies before we crash and burn. Birds of a different feathers sing all kinds of songs. Lord, we've got to learn together. Between the right, the wrongs, oh, it's plain to see. We'll never be free without weed. Let it be. That's all I got.
I thought you said without weed.
Without weed, yeah.
That might help.
You're the third person that said without weed.
They should have crop dusters just go over everybody.
I forgot I wrote that till
What was I mad about? I can't remember.
There you go, Dave. Finish it. I give you all the weed I have.
Which ain't much.
We just changed the Constitution to
You got some weed from 1993.
Weed the people. That's what the world
United
is.
Weed Stand.
Weed the people.
Weed the people.
No, it's been
Well,
fun.
if we could all just sit down around the Mugu Guy Pan and
Right, a beetle.
couple of egg rolls.
Yeah,
Or
tell us about this
egg
other word you
rollitos.
got.
Egg roll.
Egg rollitos.
I just kind of made it up. I think Sean mentioned you were talking to Justin about coming over to hang out, and I was like, and Justin's like, the son of Wong's plays guitar or something like that. That's how I took it. It's
Like Sean said, it sounds like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
The son of Wong's Palace.
Son of Wong.
yeah. I was like,
The son of Wong's Palace returns.
yeah, he returns. Previous in search for in a long journey to search for the best egg rolls and burritos.
Yeah.
Little to realize. Why not just make egg rollitos?
Egg rollitos.
Or egg rollitos.
The sequel could
Patent pending.
The sequel could be Tang-stache.
You heard it here.
The Return of Tang-stache.
Egg rollitos.
Egg rollito. That sounds like a. Well, could be somebody's name.
Egg
rollitos.
Egg rollitos.
Egg rollito.
Egg rollitos. Sounds like a band.
That's the song we need to write.
You
Egg
got a
rollitos.
You got a tail of the week to go with any of this
dude.
mess?
Dwight
Well,
Yoakam.
kinda, sorta.
Egg rollitos.
We've been
Egg
talking
rollitos.
all night long about being.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
it's
Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday, I'm old.
Tyrus.
Happy birthday to
him.
Happy birthday, Tyrus.
Cheers.
So
I made it a 50.
I ain't got a thing in my cup, but
bad luck.
I'm
Come
gonna
on,
toast you anyhow.
Here, have some of
do
this.
we have a bottle here? Yes.
Yeah, you talking?
Hey, my mom's daughters told
Con boy.
told her that I wouldn't live past 14. I think they were right mentally, but
Now
I'm
look
50,
at
so hey, who cares?
now look at you.
They said you shouldn't live past like She should have done something about it. He should not live past 14 because it's going to be trouble.
He was not raised right.
Because of the heart condition?
Yeah, I was born with a hole in my heart, and they said I probably wouldn't live past puberty. And I think I've had about 14 puberties.
You've been pubic as long. You've been pubic as long as I've known you.
I'm good at pubic speaking. I mean, public speaking.
Well, folks, it's time for another tale of the week from
Tang-stache.
from my Uncle Dave Griffin. You can get this book by calling me at 912-855. You can actually, if you want a copy of this book, I'll autograph it for you and send it to you. If you'll just email us at somethinginthewaterpodcast@gmail.com. But folks, right now, we're going to do this tale of the week, and I'm going to put my reading glasses on. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, $1. Throughout my musical years, people have constantly told me who I remind them of.
Porter Wagner.
Back in the 70s, it was Maurice Gibb of the Bee Gees. I'll take that. I strolled into Hoagie's Bistro across from Valdosta State College in 1976, and the owner, Mickey Gilbert, told me, "Man, you look like Al Pacino." Only time I heard that one, but I'm okay with Serpico. By the 80s, I had become to some the lookalike of Lee Greenwood or Joe Bonsall, the tenor singer for the Oak Ridge Boys. I just soon not look like either of them, but I guess I do. It wasn't until the 90s that people began comparing me to Tom Petty. Now there's a doppelganger I can be proud of. Musically, Thomas Earl Petty is a hero of mine. Much admired for his songwriting, production, and musical sensibility over his career. The comparisons are many. We grew up in southern towns only 2 hours apart. He in Gainesville, Florida, me in Waycross, Georgia. Like my natural brother, who was born in 1950, 3 years later I came along. As a musician and songwriter, I'm no Tom Petty. In musical taste, we both loved Elvis, the Beatles, the Byrds, and Graham Parsons. It was my daughter, Megan, a fan from the age of 10, after I presented her with his Greatest Hits CD for Christmas in 1993. Megan proclaimed, "Daddy, you look like Tom Petty," and convinced me to attend a Halloween costume party dressed as him. She was right. So was my fellow postal worker, Karen Sunshine Woodard, who often said the same. In the image of Tom Petty, I have won several contests, paid tribute in song on the stage of King's Bar and Treehouse Lounge in Hilliard, Florida, and most recently portrayed him playing sitar while straddling the back of a black and purple spider in a music video by my songwriting buddy, Ty Manning of the Slawdog Biscuits. So a couple of years ago, my son and Slawdog Biscuit drummer, Connor Griffin, inquired if his mom and I could drive him north to Buckhead, Madison, Georgia, to take part in the video version of Ty's original song, Tom Petty Song. That was the name of it, Tom Petty Song. We enthusiastically agreed, and come Sunday, October 14th, we loaded the car down with Connor's drums and hardware, colorful wigs and costumes, and Aunt Lynn's hula hoop creations, setting out on Highway 441 for a leisurely stroll to Buckhead. When Ty Manning is not playing music or writing songs, he is a celebrated art teacher, loved by his students at Morgan County High School in Madison, Georgia, who returned from fall break to brand new learning facilities on Monday, October 16th. This is all about 2 years old, isn't it? A long time ago. What?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. The Tom Petty Song video shoot was scheduled for the same evening amid the black and red polka-dotted walls of Ty's old art classroom located in the former high school building. Tom White, videographer and digital media instructor for Morgan County, began setting up his gear around 7:15 as Connor unpacked and stationed his drum set, and Aunt Lynn worked feverishly with a hot glue gun, doctoring a rip in my vintage 1800s period frock coat. Just one piece of my prized Tom Petty outfit. That frock coat was straight from the Civil War, from the 1800s. I bought it at a Civil War reenactment years ago. The velour top hat was straight from Walmart. And the blonde wig was straight from Walmart. Courtesy of my sweet daughter. Won't you curl up and die? Completing the get up is my old mid-70s down home band with Eddie Middleton Tux shirt, festooned with black ruffles down the front. A reproduction of the original Graham Parsons and Fallen Angels t-shirt, and a knockoff pair of black Chuck Taylor Converse tennis shoes and some far-out sunglasses, complete with cornea scratches. Colitis. Mr. Manning had one of his former students line up to play the part of Alice in Wonderland, but she came down with mysterious ailment. She went down a rabbit hole and couldn't make it, forcing Ty to call on a couple of his current art students, Anna Nelson, who admirably played the part of Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, and Skylar Sewell, who Aunt Lynn fashioned into a trippy hippie a la Woodstock. The fog machines were set off, and Tom Petty's song blared out of a small set of PA speakers as Tom White trained his cameras on close-ups of Connor drumming away to the music. I got the video treatment next, aboard the back of Charlotte Spatter, cradling an authentic Indian-made sitar. The rest of the band arrived, Adam Poulin on fiddle or violin, depending on which side of the Mason-Dixon line, Derek Warren, son of Vicky Wallace, on bass guitar, and guitarist, keyboardist Scotty the Correct Effect Nicholson, pride of Warner Robins, and Train Lover. And Train and Toby Keith Lover.
Horse bartender.
Horse bartender. And the next 30 minutes was spent taking full band shots, along with the individual Slawdog Biscuit close-ups and more footage of Anna and Skylar dancing around the room and Aunt Lynn hula hooping to the music. With visions of Tom Petty's Don't Come Around Here No More in my head, I hope I did musical hero justice. Another legendary figure, John Lennon, said that the best songs were written in the shortest amount of time. I don't know if that holds true for music videos, but the entire session was wrapped by 10 p.m., and all good things come to an end. Kind of like the Mad Tea Party ride at Walt Disney World and live Tom Petty concerts. They all must come to an end. Rest in peace, Brother Earl.
That was awesome. That was awesome,
that
Dave.
video is pretty awesome too, and
I'm glad you wrote that all down.
Can you pull that up?
You remember all those
That's what I'm
all
saying.
those names? Tom White name drop, Anna Nelson name drop, Skylar Sewell name drop.
Oh hell, I wrote that right.
That video did
after
come out pretty cool.
I wrote it right after it happened. That's why I know all the names. But that video is right there on
It's on the YouTube.
on YouTube.
Yeah, you can pull it up.
Time
there.
Man and Music. Subscribe, and you'll get to see a video about once a year. Hey, and can I do drugs on cameras? I'm already about an hour late of doing my blood pressure pills.
Do it. Snort it.
Do it on camera, man.
How fast?
Can you snort it?
We're just
folks,
gonna call it.
We don't subscribe to this, but we will allow it on this episode.
Let me go get them.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious. I got to do drugs. I'm about an hour late.
I thought you had them in your pocket.
That would be shady.
Well, I think we were wrapping it up anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Well, folks, right
We're
now,
out. I got to go do drugs.
before Ty goes and does his drugs,
And acids.
we would love to say thank y'all first and foremost.
Yeah.
Damn good to have you.
Yeah, well, thank y'all.
Thanks for having
This
us.
has been
And Vince, it was a pleasure learning all about the history and where it kind of combines with us and everything.
Here's the song I did. Here's the song we got it. Paul Tang and Tom Petty are in Wherever You Go When You Die, eating egg rollitos, writing a song about how we should all be better people.
Oh,
That's the song you got to write tonight, Dave.
There it is, folks. And he's given me the assignment. And by the next
Egg rollito by
Something in the
morning.
Water podcast,
gonna-
we'll have the answer to that.
They're gonna wonder if you're taking other drugs than hard drugs here.
TP and PT making egg releases.
TP and PT.
Tom Petty, Paul Tang.
There you go. So we will have a song written by the next podcast
Oh,
regarding this.
yes, Dave will.
It might show up on the deep end. So there you go. It's just another reason to subscribe. It ain't but $5, y'all. And
Patreon.
the Patreon account is a $5 monthly subscription fee. And Lord God, it's different from our regular podcast. And we go a little bit off the deep end since that's what it's called.
There's something in the water, you know.
Yeah, there's something in the water
up.
the deep end. And we encourage you to take advantage of that. There's a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of giveaways, and you can win prizes and such.
Shallow minds in the deep end.
That's exactly right. And
When is this video going to come out on the internet?
tonight will probably be about August 1st, mid.
I got a gig August 6th
Or August 5th.
at Southern Brewing Company in Athens with Dang Fly and the Royal Velvet.
Or you do August 5th.
And
which
thanks
is
for
my
coming to my
birthday.
show at Nowhere Bar July 31st. Y'all were awesome.
All right, it's coming out on your birthday.
Is that
Then.
how you do it? That's show business. And I'm playing the Graham Jam. That's coming up in October, right?
Coming up soon. October
Man.
21st through the 23rd.
I'd love to try to get attractive 80s women back.
That would be
We'll
awesome.
see.
Would love to. No, y'all would be a Swamp Town Get Down fit. That's what where y'all would fit,
y'all
and that would
could
be
rock it.
awesome. And I'll go out on a limb and say I'm gonna make that happen.
Yeah, do it. Let's
You
put
have
a
to
band back
convince-
together. Mac,
you
you're
gotta-
hearing
yeah,
this.
convince
Do
Mac.
it.
We got Matt
Rally
Williams.
the troops.
Mac Williams.
We got
Patrick
Robert
Tang.
Williams is going to be a sponsor.
Rob,
He's going to
Steve,
pay for y'all to come
Chris.
down.
It'd be like Mac.
But we'd love to have that. Folks, thank y'all for watching again. We appreciate it. And,
Love y'all.
We'll see you the next time.
When the cold black water finds its way across through your veins, it just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate. It just might seal your fate.